Have a good one, Coach.
TGIF and good Jackson Hole Day. Guys, Mark Twain used to describe, I know that was his pen name, but he would describe a gold mine as two liars standing over a hole. So I wonder how many are going to be standing around above Jackson Hole, which is what we have going on here. I'm certainly sure the market is anticipating a very constructive, and we're going to start easing. S&Ps are up 29, but I want to start off with an update on the WTI call made yesterday in the main room at 73. So you have $2 made. Here's my point: if you have $2 made in crude and you don't know how to make money, you don't know how to take partials. You don't know how to take risk out of the trade when you have a lead, where you should have at the minimum a break-even stop, and should be taking money off the table. It's not quite a reversal week, but it's kind of a war hedge. All right, I'll call it for what it is. It's not a because I think the global economy is booming. It's not a reversal week unless something happens late session. We're still lower on the week, but it certainly held support. Okay. And so now we know where we're wrong and where we would break down under these lows. Anyway, nice scalp. See what it turns into. You should have BE stops, money made, risk taken out of the trade completely so you could exhale. Okay, let's get to what the title of this interview is about, and it's about a bear market rally I'm expecting in U.S. dollar yen, which I think may coincide with a bounce in the dollar. And 152 is a real major area. Okay, it was on the way up, and it was on the way down, and there it is. Here's the confluence. Look at 52. So the dollar took out the lows from a few weeks ago, but the yen did not. And it may have a little circuitous route, but I see us heading back up towards this 52 level for a great shorting opportunity. Now, I'm going to use this as a key to when I think the dollar rally, if we get a bounce, will terminate, and a place to sell the dollar, a place to buy euro, pull back to buy Aussie, should that happen. Here's the euro. Okay, another decent week off the highs. This is major, what has happened in the dollar, and it's going to reverberate through the markets for months to come, maybe years to come. So, and it's just beginning. So, perhaps we get a pullback towards 110. 110.50, 110. You got to buy the dips. Remember that little cartoon about the S&Ps? It's still true. BFTD. You just buy the dip. That's what you're going to have to do in currencies for as far as I can see. So maybe we'll get a pullback there. We had great entries at 107, 108, pound down at 26. Aussie was the new one that we got at this day. The buy was 4.5. So you have 300 pips there. But I think that the yen can put in some type of A, this ABC for A, and maybe this is B. I don't know if B is completed yet, but then rally back towards 52, which I showed you was a very key area in the yen. And the memory of the market, as you look left, that's where the memory is. It's not going away. How about Canada? Another great call, if I may say so myself, from this week. Same week as when Aussie bottomed, Canada topped. Discuss this trade in detail with the guests that we had a few weeks ago. Okay, he also was short the Canadian dollar. Okay, so not only my calls, but backed up by a pretty good trader. And if you don't know who it is, you have to go to our video page and look for Peter Brandt's interview. And we talked about the Canadian, and it was here, hadn't failed yet. So this is just the beginning here. I'd welcome a rebound um, back about, back towards 137, 710 right here. I would take it, and I'd have both palms out, which as a floor trader, you're a seller. You're a buyer, you're a seller. I'd be waving them at 37.20. Okay, so here's the dollar. We could rally back to 102, 102 and a half. I'm not even sure if this is it. We'll see what happens after his speech, which begins in 40 minutes. We never quite got down to the weekly marginal line in the Dixie, which Confluence has it coming in. It looks like about, let me move this, par 30. So that's another 120 lower. Okay. It doesn't have to. Early in the week, when I made the video Monday, I said look for uh, a low starting at 101.50 down to par 50. Okay. So we got, went right in between. Par 90. Okay, so it's in that range for a reaction. I did want to cover what's happening in the metals. So gold still about unchanged on the week, and it looked like a correction was beginning to ensue. We're still off the highs. We'll see what happens here. I thought that we were going to have a correction in gold. They actually put out a sell on Monday for a $20 scalp. It's in the room. Silver, I've been talking about potentially being able to look at it around 28. I think that's still a possibility. And while the yen makes its way up to 152, perhaps yields correct. And TLT, I think, is you could, if you want, and you're long, I think you could trail your stops under 97 now. Because if we take out 97, we could have an ABC, which would take you back towards the breakout at 94, which would be a buy in my opinion. As far as risk is concerned, uh, yesterday just goes to show you how when, you had an outside day, you had a bearish day. NASDAQ was actually lower on the week yesterday before coming in sharply higher today. We're still pretty far away from yesterday's highs in NASDAQ, not as much so in the S&Ps. The Dow, uh, you know, this is going to be important because for the bear case, and you guys know that I'm open to, the S&P is making a new high. But it looked like, and it still could be, I'm not sure, we'll see what happens, but you do have two lower highs, excuse me, in the Dow. And I wanted to show you one of the leaders. We talked about this in the show that Mike and I did, and it's Meta. I think it's called higher today. But we are developing this three drive to a top. I don't think we're going to get a reversal week to the downside, not with the kind of up day. So it may have to do more work up here. But this is really the reason on using a telescopic look at Meta, we're setting up some type of three drive here. And remember, you need a red candle. So if we don't get a red candle, we could do some work up there distribute a little bit more, even take out the three drive line, the wedge line, the return line, whatever you want to call it, and have a throw over. That's possible too. But look at the divergence on the weekly. Here's the peak, and you have to go back to February. So it's been what, 7 months without a momentum confirmation with two highs coming. The last high was under 70, and this high is only gotten to 60. So just a spec I'm keeping an eye on. I think most of Mag 7, they don't look great to me. The market's up today, but look at Microsoft. Doesn't look great. It's called $2 better. Nvidia tried to put in a reversal week as well. Amazon, nice recovery, but still failing rallies. That's Apple. This is Amazon. Doesn't look great to me. So the Mag 7 still look out of favor to me, guys. And remember, if you've been watching, I know you've been watching the videos and checking into the trade room. No one should have been caught flat-footed or bullish a dollar, because for months I've been talking about the dollar eventually rolling over, breaking down. We were sellers in here, and we were sellers here. We were selling bounces. We broke the trend lines. Remember my rap about trend lines, destinies are to be broken. And we'll see what happens down here at par 20. Or if we get a rally back towards 103 or so, I would, put dollar shorts back out. This is a long-term trend. Once we break down out of here, you talk about very long-term trend lines are going to be tested and violated. I think, we get at least 98 to 96, and eventually heading under 90, I think is a possibility as well. Just a measured move, so I'm not pulling it out of my hat. There's 1,400 points. So if I want to use par as a breakdown and subtract 1,400, that's how you get 86. Okay. So everyone, I hope you have a great weekend. Recover, rest, and research. The 3 R's. Recover, rest, and research. And I'll see everyone next week. Good hunting. Remember, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. And see you, warriors, action junkies, traders, investors, day traders that turned into investors next week. Adios.